for interruptible electric service with DTE. And they had the right, with the contract I had with them on my interruptible service, I had a heat pump which served both in heating the house as a unit in tandem with my furnace and also air conditioning my house. And they could come in when they wanted to, part of the contract to get the lower utility rate, they could come in and turn off my appliance. That is a smart meter. This is not a smart system. This is a meter reading system, and I want to clarify that because over the last several council meetings, there have been a number of activists here talking about smart meters, and they put this in that category, and it doesn't belong there. All we're going to do is we're going to take 2 reads a day off the home versus 1 read a month, which we get on 93% of our accounts. We have a lot of estimated reads, and they create a lot of problems for us with customer and customer calls. It's a big issue for us. When this system is up and running, we're going to get 99 to 99.5% of all the accounts read every month. Highly reliable. East Point has had this system in operation since 2006. They have had not one incident of safety issues, not one issue reported with regard to any health issues. They have been very happy with the system. So all the claims and all the comments you've been hearing about this system are not entirely true. The system is very good, and many communities around us have it in operation. We are not a leader, we're a follower in putting this in. So this transmit at 450 to 470 megahertz. It meets all FCC regulations, the Telecommunications Act, public service requirements, and any local ordinance. So it applies to all that. We will be given a low-level frequency license from the FCC to operate this independently. That'll keep other people from intruding on our frequency and let us have clean reading going to our system. So this will send a signal to a DCU. The DCU will then send a signal, the read, to the network computer at City Hall. These DCUs are mounted on our emergency warning poles. We have 12 of them. They each have a cell phone inside, so we only have 12 cell phones in this whole city operating this system. We're going to get roughly 100,000 reads a day.
Thank you.
The frequency, and I'll make it real quick.
Yeah.
One more item. The time element of this signal is 2 milliseconds. That's 0.002 seconds. That is so quick you wouldn't even know it. That's what's coming out of the house. So level exposure is very, very, very low and minimal. So I just want to clarify that per the council, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk briefly about this. If you have any more questions, I would be happy to entertain them now or some other time.
I really appreciate you at least giving the people an overview of all the equipment that's being utilized and set the record straight of what is being implemented and that it is a read-only system. So I appreciate you coming forward with it. I know we'll have our committee of the whole to discuss
I'm sure we'll
everything
have
else. More questions?
If you have more questions, we would be happy to respond for you.
We would love you to attend too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Mr. Bacamino?
Thank you, Madam President. Couple things. I thought we established last council meeting that they were not smart meters, so I'm kind of confused how we can have a moratorium that would include this system.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. So
It's
then,
just strictly for DTE smart meters that are intended
correct.
to go to
So-
the national
So the
grid.
public understands that, 'cause
Yeah.
it is confusing now that we've had a presentation. This system that we're currently implementing
Is
saves
not a
us.
smart meter.
Is not a
Exactly.
smart meter.
And again, we earlier said that the county can't communicate to the city's treasurer's office because of the technology. Well, we're trying in the water department move forward with technology, so I don't want people to think that we're sort of an oxymoron when it comes to technology. Sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't. This is totally separate, what you're proposing. Is that correct, Madam President?
Correct.
Okay.
Ms. Vogt?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through the chair to Mr. Biernat. Can we legally do this, or are we buying ourselves a lawsuit? We're not buying ourselves, setting ourselves up for a lawsuit.
We're putting a moratorium on the smart meters?
Yes.
Yeah.
we're prohibiting DTE from coming in and doing whatever their project is?
Well, if the DTE has contracts with other two parties, I don't know how we can interfere with those contracts necessarily. That's a legitimate concern. It would be like a court interfering with the contract between two parties that are not before them, if only one is. They couldn't affect the contractual rights constitutionally of a party of an individual who's not a party to an action. So that raises a good question. I don't know if I can answer the question off the top of my head, but it's a good question, I think.
May I add to that briefly? It's my understanding that DTE did not have any plans to come into Warren with these meters until June of next year. It wasn't
Then tabling
intended
this
to-
for a month to give the city attorney's office time to tell us
Support.
we can or can't do it.
I'd also like to contact DTE to have them come and explain to us what they're doing and why it's a good thing as part of that, so I'm with that. I'm sorry, was that a motion to table, Ms. Vogt?
Support.
Motion to table by Ms. Vogt, support to table by Mr. Bacamino.
A point of, through the chair, if I might.
Mr.
Clarification.
Yes.
Is this a formal request for an opinion as to whether you could validly effectuate a moratorium on
DTE.
I believe so.
on GTE? Is that correct? Entering this city and installing these devices?
That's,
Okay.
yes. I mean, I know there's a lot of information that's going to be coming to us, but I'd like something from the city attorney's office telling us yay or nay.
Very well.
Ms. Vogt?
Yes to table.
Mr. Bacamino?
Yes to table.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Mr. Sadowski?
No.
Mr. Liss?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Ms. Comartin?
No.
Camp, no. The item has been tabled 6-3. Motion by Mr. Green to adjourn. Support by Mr. Liss. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The meeting has adjourned at 12:24 a.m.